in another university, Hochschule Karlsruhe. So like Karlsruhe University of Applied Sciences. There's a course, a master course, and like almost everyone there is Indian. Once I went to a completely German party, and suddenly they started playing Tunuk Turuk. Hi everyone, my name is Sagnik Ghosh. I am from Kolkata, India, and I studied ICSC, then ISC in India. I got 86% in class 12. Then I gave IELTS. I got 7.5 on that overall. And then I applied to, actually I thought about going to the US, but then COVID happened, and then all the admission tests got postponed indefinitely for COVID. So then I started looking into European options, because before that I thought you have to study in their language only. Like I'm studying mechanical, and Germany is world renowned for mechanical, but I thought since it's in Germany, maybe we'll have to study in German. But as it turned out, as I was researching in COVID, that's not the case. So I applied here, and then I came here. So in my university, my mechanical engineering bachelor's is actually the only bachelor's which is in English. But it's completely in English. So you just need an English test and nothing else, and you'll be fine. And the city is there are a lot of international students here. So even in the shops and something, you don't need a lot of German. Even if they don't speak English, they can still understand you. And so you can even do without German to some extent. If you're doing an English course, I think it would be better if you come here and learn, because then you can practice with your floor mates and everything, and it would be much better. Your German would be so much better, instead of just following a course in India. But it still helps to do 1 or 2 levels in India. Then you can at least tell people what you're trying to say. And they'll understand. Germans, they are very versatile, because there are so many international people learning German and then trying to speak here. They are used to broken German now. They're yeah, okay, I get what you mean. Like I said, I was only looking at US because I wasn't aware of all these options in Europe. That's what I want to say is because of COVID and all that, I had to look for other options. And then I discovered new options that I didn't know existed, and they were better options. In USA, it's pretty hard to get accepted into anything above world rank 150. Exactly. Here, my university's rank is 136, and I submitted SATs, IELTS, 10, 12, and there was also a test, an internal test, but that's a substitute for something called Feststellungsprüfung.
Alright.
Yeah, the system in Germany for bachelors is you can't directly study bachelors in Germany from India, because they don't consider it they consider everything that you have learned is equivalent to what people here are learning, but you still need to prove that you have studied just 1 more year. So 13 years. Actually had to take a gap semester after 12 because of COVID. Okay. And I had already applied to some universities before giving the class 12 exam, and got accepted into some US universities before that. And then I didn't go to those. So then I had another application phase where I'm applying to other universities again, 1 semester later. So if I had to know all the countries I applied to, that's a long list. I applied to American universities, UK universities, Italian universities, Lithuanian universities. Very special system in our university, because some of you might be knowing that the founder of Mercedes-Benz himself, Carl Benz, studied from our university. Heinrich Hertz also studied from our university. Hertz, who discovered like after whom we named the unit Hertz. First email ever in Germany was from an American server to the servers of KIT. So yeah, it's really good for CS as well. Mechanical is like a high priority program here. So they made a new path for international students so that they don't have to study 1 year in India or do Studienkolleg or preparatory college here for 1 year. Instead, what they can do is, so it's a 2-month course. It's called the pre-semester, and you do it like if the studies start in October, you start it from August. It happens in Germany, but you can get a visa for that also. And it's pretty easy. Like they'll write letters to the embassy to like add more weight to your application, and like you have much higher chances of getting accepted. And then you study English, physics, chemistry, math in English, and then you give an exam also in English. And if you pass it, that's considered equivalent to the 1 year bachelor in India or Studienkolleg here. Like you don't need that then. Like you can just directly get admitted to Mechanical Engineering International here. So this exists only in our college. Like it's a very special program. Like I said, in our university, this is the only English taught bachelor. So everything else you'd need a German language, like TESDA for DSH or Goethe maybe even till C2.
All right.
But like there are other English courses in the other universities in our city as well. Like there are 8 universities in our city. So you could also like contact one of them if you want. And like for my course, the admission requirements was SAT, because since this is the only English speaking program, they wanted to like compete with the American system of things. So they were like, okay, we're going to consider SATs. And so the minimum score that you need on the SAT is 1200 to be accepted even. And then up to 1600 as high as you can go. And IELTS minimum score is 6.5 on each band or something, 6 on each band, I think.
Okay.
But it has to be like 7.5 overall or 6.5 overall. Yeah, 6 band minimum and 6.5 overall minimum.
All right. So it's quite doable. It's quite achievable.
Yeah.
So it's not a very high score requirement as well.
And I had 12th, for my 12th, I had 86%. Like not even 86, I think 85.75. So it's not like you need 90 above or something. If you have a good enough application, good enough statement of purpose. I actually planned I wanted to go abroad from class 9. Like no one in my school was like, okay, let's go abroad. Like I'm from as normal school as you can get, like full of Marwaris, Bengalis, everyone just preparing for KVPY and everything. I was like, no, I need to go outside. Yeah, and I decided from class 9 that I wanted to go out. I then went to a few education fairs, talked to some universities. I started to get into it more. And so like from class 9, I started to learn how to like do applications and everything myself. And also like research, like do more efficient research on universities faster. So I can like get, like if I wanted to search, for example, like, okay, how many English mechanical engineering programs are there in this country? I could get through the research much faster. Yeah, so I did that. Yeah, 136, and I think for graduate employability, rank 1 in Germany. So on that basis, you could say it's the best one in Germany. Like, I really think it's the best. Like even in like if you're studying some principles of mechanics or something, you're gonna come across some principles that were discovered by professors of our university, like in the 1800s or something. Like a state rule just for public universities in this state that the tuition fees are a little higher for all international students. not high, but higher compared to others. Like suppose if TU Berlin is like 350 euros per semester, ours is 1600 euros. That is still like 1.5 lakhs. So it's still doable, but it's a little high. But it's still doable, like I said. I know it because I just paid it for winter semester.
That's great.
Talking about the minimum,
Yeah.
that would also depend if you need to do the pre-semester here or if you have 1 year of bachelor's.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you need to do the course here, that would be 3.5 lakhs for 2 months. But then you will also have accommodation on university for 2 months and trips and everything included in that. But then you also need to include that if you need that. So 3.5 lakhs, 1.6 lakh tuition fees per semester. And like the minimum course duration is 3 years. Like you can also do it earlier, but that's just not possible. Like it's technically possible. It's not possible as like if you are studying. So then 1.6 into 6, that would be like around 9-10 lakhs of tuition fees, maybe more, so 12 lakhs tuition fees. And living, you need to pay for the blocked account when you're applying for the visa.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're good at like getting jobs, then you'll get a job, and then that's all you need for living, just the blocked amount. And then you can save some of that, and then you can start working, and then you have savings and you're working, so you'll make a lot of savings then. And you can also use that for tuition fees later. So like everything depends on you actually, like if you can find a job fast, and also like you need time to open the blocked account itself. So like if you're in Germany, sometimes like you need to also like first do the city registration and then apply for the for the temporary residence permit. And some banks don't allow you to open a bank account until then, but some banks do. But if you like want to get a bank account at one of those, you need a temporary residence permit, the student one. And if you don't have a account here, you can't use your blocked account, because where would they be paying you the money then? So
Exactly.
then you also need to consider for that expenses for like 3-4 months, like you need to bring that with you. Or you can also open a Belgium bank account, and like that's actually like that's not a popular way, but that's also a way. So if you have a European account, like doesn't matter if it's German, like if it's a European, you can start your blocked account immediately, and you can like bring like 50,000 or something with you from India, and yeah, that's it. Then you open your blocked account with your European bank account, and you don't need any more money to bring with you. The main intake phase in Germany is the winter semester. So studies starting in October, and applications for that end by June at max. So May, April, that is the like perfect, like that's the high time for applying. And so like if you are going to study in German, then preferably like at least a year before that.
Year before?
Yeah, like just studying German, like not applying or anything, just doing German. And like some universities have a provision where you can apply with lower German levels, but then like when you're getting admitted as a student, then you provide the required proof, like of the entire German that is required for the course. So you have some extra months there. Yeah, for that you need B2, I think. B2 Goethe, or like you can, like the minimum requirements is B1, but I would recommend B2. That's what my friend said. Like he did Studienkolleg from TU Berlin, and he said the German is like this, they move pretty fast. We are in southern Germany. You might know that also that Germany gives a student ticket to students to travel in the city. And in our network, there's actually also a French city like that shows how close we are to the French border.
Yeah.
So like we are in a very nice place in Europe. Like we are in southern Germany. Like everything is nice, and yeah, it's pretty good. Like I had few problems in winter, but that's it. Like and not a lot of problems. Like yeah, but that's doable. Like North Germany is way colder. Last year we didn't even have snowfall, and summer was really hot. Like Germans were like racing to get fans and everything. So it was pretty hot. Again, in every German university city, there is also public organization called Studentenwerk.
Mm-hmm.
And they organize accommodation for students. Like you apply there, and they have like all the student accommodations for the city. They control the applications for that, and you just apply to one place, and they'll like you automatically apply to all the dorms available. And then when you get selected, the rent is really cheap, like 250 euros per month. Like I think that's really cheap, because I also know about some students from Ireland, and they are paying like 700 euros. Realized in Germany, so like every city has their own organization, like their own Studentenwerk. Suppose like if I'm living in Karlsruhe, there's Studentenwerk Karlsruhe. Like if there's some other city, Studentenwerk Berlin or something. So like you just need to add that one keyword and search the city, and like you'll get in contact with the student dorm organization there. Might be 150 200 euros. Like I'm also considering like a half of my, like 1/4 of my rent, and then insurance and everything. Like I'm just dividing my monthly expenses by 4. There's a subscription service here in Germany now that they deliver like vegetables and sauces and everything you need to cook dishes. They'll give you the recipes, you just need to cook it. And it's for like 43 euros per week. That's also doable. Then you can also cook like completely on your own, shop on your own, do that. Also, if some friends are like, hey, let's go to a restaurant today, or like, let's go to the beer garden. Okay, yeah, I have lunch there or something. Cheaper pizzas, but 10 is a good pizza, and like it's a big pizza, like it'll fill you, and you'll still have 2 slices left. 15 I think would be a good number. Like 15 would include food and a drink. If you're running on a budget, you can like spend your entire month, like for your entire month, like 550 euros. Like you can also shift to yearly, but then it's a lot of money at the same time. But yeah, okay, so like if you have a blocked account partner or something, they will arrange for your travel insurance first, because you also need a travel insurance for your visa application. They'll organize that, and then as soon as you land, you'll have to send your visa and your maybe like your city registration, that you register that you're in the city now. You send that to your blocked account provider or your travel insurance, and they'll see that you're already here. They'll terminate your travel insurance and activate your like social insurance.
Okay.
And then it's, I think, 110 euros per month. Healthcare system is amazing here. Like you even have like something as menial as dental for free. Like everything else, like yeah, like surgeries and that things, like if a doctor prescribes it, you get it for free basically. You have to adjust a little bit to the system here, because like in India, like we are told, okay, get the answer in the fastest possible time, right?
Yeah.
And that's not the way things work here. Like here you have to really show that you have understood what the professor did in the class. So like the lecture notes, they are king here. Like you have to study from the lecture notes. You cannot like get the concept from a YouTube video or something and then show up for the exam and hope to pass. Like you still have to like go through the lecture notes and whatever the professor said. But it's pretty easy, because in our university there is a system called Ilias. This is just for our university, and it's to manage every course you take. So the lecture notes, the tutorials, PDFs of the lecture notes, like suppose the professor, the sketches he did on class, like they will also be available. Like if he did it on a iPad or something, then it will be available.
Okay.
That will be available online immediately, and homeworks will be available online. You can submit them online. So it's a very good system, but you need to get used to it. Courses are on the tougher side because of the world rank, and like it's more research based. Like it's a technical university, so of course. And also, like for bachelors, there's actually a list of courses that you need to complete to get the bachelor's. But from that list, there are two or three courses that you need to clear within the first 3 semesters, and that is called the orientation exam. They are like kind of hard courses, but basic courses. And if you do that within 3 semesters, that shows the university that you will be able to complete the rest of the course without any problems. Like our city is actually kind of well known in the region for being a hub of international students, especially for like European Erasmus programs. Like Erasmus outside Europe is kind of different, and Erasmus in Europe is kind of different. Like then European students, they go for a semester abroad like anywhere in Europe, and a lot of them choose our university. And then like there are a lot of international students here, but there are also a lot of German students here. Yeah, there's a Indian Students Association here, and they celebrate things whenever there's something to celebrate. Sometimes there's even a Saraswati Puja. Berlin like sends photos of, look, we are doing Durga Puja. Once I went to a completely German party, and suddenly they started playing Tunak Turuk Tu.
Okay, that's great. So
that was very unexpected. Like 5 Indian stores here, so you can buy naan, like a lot of things from India, and also like a lot of things that are here considered Indian, but like you won't have them here, but like for here it's Indian, like ready to eat naan, like I said. But there are a lot of Indian restaurants as well. No problem. And in a dorm, like you don't need to bring utensils. So if you get like if you are going to live in a dorm, you can just use the utensils and the plates and the forks and everything that's already there. So you don't need to bring anything from India. So it's a lot better than living alone in a private accommodation. I'm doing one myself now, actually. And like there are jobs, of course. Like Karlsruhe is not a small city, and there are a lot of jobs. You just have to like search them, and like if you know German, it like you'll have like infinitely more options. Like you can like immediately start, like you can immediately get a part-time job in a industry you like, that you wanted to work, and then you'll also have like relevant experience along with getting paid. And like if you learn German, then it will be a plus. Otherwise, there are still jobs where you don't need German, like for example delivery jobs, like Lieferando or like Gorillas, like they deliver groceries, and Lieferando, they are like Zomato basically. Even though there are options in English, like I still think like if you know German, like there are just so many options. Like since I'm doing mechanical, I'm also in a university group of student automobile organization. It's organization throughout Germany, and there in the groups, like people post stuff like, hey, there's an internship at BMW for 3 months. Does anyone want to do it? Like, of course I want to do it, but then I contact them and they're like, yeah, it's in German, sorry. Pretty pleasant, I'd say. Like like I went into a computer repair shop, and like I started speaking English, and they were like, yeah, okay, that guy speaks English.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so like in a computer repair shop, like you wouldn't expect people there to know English, but yeah, they do. So like Germans, I think they also in their high school they have to know English, but then they forget it. But like I think almost everyone knows it or something. Germany universities don't give scholarships, actually. Like the only scholarships available are DAD scholarships from the organization DAD in Germany. And there's another scholarship, Deutschland Stipendium, so German stipend. basically. And you get that, like, you'll have to apply for it after you're a student here. So, like, before coming here, only the DAD scholarships are available. And if you get a DAD scholarship, that would be pretty good, because then you would also not need a blocked account, because you will have a scholarship that pays for everything. Yeah, but that's it. Like, there are no scholarships as far, like, education is already funded by the government. So yeah, there are not supposed to be any scholarship. If you're working full time, the average number is 45,000 euros per year. And in our university, like, just speaking for our universities, there are job fairs and career fairs organized throughout the year where companies show up. Like, there is no placement season. Like, yeah, placement is only a thing in India. And outside, yeah, like, you'll have to apply for jobs mostly on your own. But you could also speak to companies at job fairs, and they're like, you can apply on the spot if you have all the required, like, qualifications. Yeah, and you just have to have good people skills for that. Yeah, like with the student automotive organization, I've visited some manufacturing facilities or some companies. And if you don't know German, you can get a job, but you'll probably get a job in the business or product development area and not in the engineering area. Because then, like, in the plant itself, like, everyone, there will be like people who are like, like what we have, like, vocational school in India. There will be people like that, who did just vocational school. They didn't even like complete high school. Then you'll have to instruct them,
Yeah.
So for that you need German.